was like 25 at the time. I made about $50,000 a year. I did not have an emergency fund, and I literally lived paycheck to paycheck.
What's the worst financial decision you've ever made in your life? Let me know down below in the comment section, because we're going to be reacting to some of the worst ones I found on TikTok, and some of them are surprising. They go all the way from mortgages, car payments, and also just bad spending and being in a relationship sometimes with someone who overspends and kind of uses you as a credit card, a personal credit card, which can be very contentious to say the least. With that being said, let's react to some of them, with the very first one being a really bad decision on cars. Cars are depreciating assets. You should know that. The only time it ever really spiked and had any sort of good resale value was during the pandemic, when there wasn't no chips being shipped. So that made the prices of used cars spike up. But we are going back to normal, and that means normally cars, like used cars, go down in price unless they're a collector item. But this one was not. Let's talk about it in today's video.
This is the worst financial decision I have ever made. I'm Cody with 1% Step. I'm a financial coach here to teach you financial literacy so you can stop living paycheck to paycheck. I'm sitting in the worst financial decision I've ever made. This is a 2017 Ford Focus Titanium. I bought it brand new with 373 miles on it. The MSRP was $32,000. The dealer discount was $6,000, so I ended up getting this for $26,000. The term length that I bought this for was 6 years. So if I would have made the minimum payments every month, it would have been paid off last year. Thankfully, I paid it off in 2 years. I took this car to CarMax recently, and they gave me an offer of $2,500. That means that I have lost $24,000 roughly in the last 6 years. There's no resale value on this car. It's a little bit of a kick to the gut. Here's what I should have done. I should have gotten a used car, a couple years old, 30 to 50,000 miles on it. I would have paid probably $10,000 to $15,000 less. I hope that you can learn from my mistake when you go get a new car. If you like this video, please like and share. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
It always seems like a good idea to get a new car. You know, there's no issues with the car. It doesn't have any previous owners, but used cars really are the way to go. And if you have cash to pay for it outright and not have to finance the vehicle, that is definitely the better option of the two. You know what's interesting? Eating out versus eating at home. Obviously, eating at home is getting a lot more expensive, but grocery shopping is still much more cheap than going out. What would you do if you were married to someone who made a lot of money and they happen to eat out a lot going into your finances, both of you, if you are married or common law? Would you cook for that partner? Let's talk about in today's video, because this is an interesting decision that one person is making here. I don't know if I agree with it or not, but I find it very funny, and that's why I have to put this into today's topic.
With $1,000, we should be able to cover all our food.
Groceries easily. Not even an issue.
He doesn't cook at all.
Great.
So,
do it.
That working can't.
How many hours a week are you working?
Anytime I'm not actively
Too many
watching
hours
shows.
a week.
24/7 basically.
Fun fact,
Yeah.
usually when mothers stay at home, they're usually able to prepare meals.
I
Try it up if you want to. I don't care.
I am able to prepare meals. I do prepare meals.
Wonderful. We solved the issue.
But sometimes I'm going out and like if I'm going to doctor's appointments or something.
Are you pretending generations of people have not done this?
Generations of people had multi-generation households. We don't have
in the United States of America, though,
Yes,
at least in the 20th and 21st century, has been more traditionally like this. If you're going back to an 18th, sure. And you're right, other cultures do have multi-generational households, but in the United States, in a traditional sense, at least in the 20th and 21st century, is more traditional like this.
I mean, I think
So you're dismissing them. At least 3 generations of people.
No, I think that we need some amount of relief for me cooking every single meal.
I'll give you relief. Meal prep.
Yep.
I do meal prep.
We figured it out. You cook only a few times a week, and then you warm it up the rest of the time.
So some of those eating out meals are actually.
You know what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing right now? You're doing the defeatist, the it will never work mentality. And you're right. This will never work if you have that mentality. If you give up and it's not possible, it is literally not possible. People who want to do it, who have more kids than you, and both work.
With lower standards of living, sure. Like,
lower your standard of living, you entitled.
No, I will not do that.
Great.
No.
So go ahead and have it so that you have.
So
go had to do it so that you guys are never able to retire and your kids put their lives on hold to take care of their irresponsible
just like
parents.
Everyone else.
Just like everyone else?
Just like everyone else.
Are you fucking stupid? What are you talking about? My parents are going to be able to retire because they sacrificed eventually once they figured out financial literacy. So I'm not going to have to put my life on hold to deal with them. But because you guys are babies, when your kids are trying to navigate their early adulthood, they're going to have to put their life on hold because their parents decided to not grow up past the age of 5.
Yeah, delay gratification. Think about the future. Forgo the present for the future. That used to be the way things would go. You know, you basically bury your crops so they would flourish in the spring, and then you have a good harvest season, right? So it's it's just weird how some decisions like that are so hard for people to make and just stick to. It's obviously no-brainer right there, right? If you could meal prep, you know, hey, you know what? Some people just like eating out, and that's completely fine as well. But if you're trying to save money and you're going into debt, for God's sakes, at least try it. You might be surprised at how much money you save.
Financial decisions that I have made in the name of love. Almost 10 years ago, I was dating somebody who was a business owner, and he was somebody who I had known in high school. I kind of trusted him more than I should have. This man had maxed out all of his credit cards, both personal and business. And the business that he ran required him to buy supplies to do his job. One day we were walking around the Home Depot and he's like, here's a list of all the things that I need. I'm gonna need to use your credit card. And what did I do? I was like, yes, sure, of course you can use my credit card, yes.
Bad idea. Never let anyone use your credit card, especially if you just started dating, for Christ's sake.
I was like 25 at the time. I made about $50,000 a year. I did not have an emergency fund, and I literally lived paycheck to paycheck. But I was like, yes, here, swipe. We were at Home Depot with his dad, and his dad saw him use my credit card, and he goes, wow, you're getting indoctrinated pretty quickly, huh? And I was like, I was proud. I was proud of the fact that I was giving him my credit card for some reason. Now, months go by, and I'm starting to get stressed out because I'm like, yo, we need to pay off this credit card. Literally hurting my credit. Let me give you a list of things that this man continued to buy while he owed me $7,000. But the thing that broke me finally had me go, you know what? This isn't cool. I had ordered a Stitch Fix to our house. Mind you, we were living together at the time. He's like trying all the stuff on the Stitch Fix. And I just look at him and I'm like, maybe you shouldn't order a Stitch Fix when you owe me $7,000. And here's the best part. He gets mad at me and tells me that I'm being controlling. And I continue to date him for another 6 months. Yep. Now, he did pay me back. I will give him that. But I did not learn my lesson, and he owes me $50,000 to this day. But I'll share that in another story.
That is brutal. Well, good luck getting that money, because I think it's going to be pretty difficult to get that. Also, you know what is kind of a financial scam? And it's weddings. And if you really think about it, it's not that difficult to conjure that up into your mind, because it really puts you into debt when you're trying to start a life, start a family. It's the worst financial decision you can make, especially if you're paying for it on your own. Now, I would suggest if you are having a wedding and you want it to be a big wedding, just, I guess, ask for money as the wedding gift from people, and maybe at least help you pay for some of the wedding. But honestly, if you guys can just elope or just make it a cheap wedding, it's probably the best thing to do, or just do common law.
There's one financial regret I have in my almost 30 years of living. It would be spending $30,000 on a wedding. The wedding industry has all of us girlies in a chokehold, making us feel like we need to prove something to everyone around us and have this massive, expensive, beautiful wedding. I fell under that and became brainwashed and went from eloping and having something casual and under $5K to having this $30K wedding in San Francisco with only 50 people. At the end of the day, I look back at this and I think about how much of that money I could have used for something so much more valuable, like a honeymoon, investing, paying for our businesses that we're trying to grow, anything. I know it's wedding season right now, and I just want to put this out into the universe, and if you're seeing this, it's probably a sign. If your wedding planning isn't about you and your spouse and it's about everybody else, don't do it. Just elope and save their money.
Think of how many things you could actually do with that money. $30,000 is a lot, but it's not even anywhere near the most amount of money I've heard from close friends and family spending on a wedding. So $30,000, it may seem like a lot, but people are going for like $100,000 weddings out there, which is mind-boggling to think about.
This I have not seen on the show ever. You have late payments on your mortgage?
The home that my mom left for me and my sister.
How much is the monthly?
$1,000 for the mortgage.
In Austin, you have
Crazy.
no idea.
I don't even make $1,000.
Exactly, which is a choice, by the way. I know people who work Uber Uber Eats here and make $80,000 a year after maintenance and gas.
You're not serious.
Why would I lie? They're grinding, they're working the hours, but guess what? They're making their money.
I'm trying to find balance, man.
Won't find it until you grow up and get a job. You are squandering the mortgage of all mortgages that anyone around our age would dream of. What happens when this goes in foreclosure? You have no idea. No
I
idea.
do.
If you had any idea, you'd be taking care of this. You're about to squander
I'm
the
not.
biggest You are already. What do you mean you're not? You are already.
I have an opportunity and I'm trying to make the best of it. And I'm very aware. Like, I'm very aware this is something that my mom...
You're aware, but you're not doing anything.
$1,000 for a mortgage in Austin. Now, I'm not from the States, but I do know Austin is one of those booming cities that a lot of people are moving to, and it's a great hub for culture and finance. And the fact that you have $1,000 mortgage in a city like that in a house in Austin, God, I'd be doing everything I can to not lose that house.
How much are we making right now?
I honestly, I don't know the yearly. I haven't done the math on it yet because it hasn't been a year for me yet.
Yearly? I don't. This is like how much you. What do you mean? Are you hourly?
I'm hourly.
What's your hourly?
19 an hour.
Okay. How many hours a week do you work?
Guaranteed 80, but it's usually more.
80 a week.
Well, sorry. No.
Yeah, that would be aggressive.
I'm usually working anywhere from 60 to 65 hours a week.
Okay. How much do you think came in through payroll in the last month?
I could actually look and tell you.
No, because I have the number.
You have that.
I want to see how much you know about your financial situation. So I think you don't budget because you would need to know what numbers coming in to budget.
I would have to guess 3,000, maybe 4.
Payroll is 5,900.
Oh, good God. In the last month?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no.
How do you manage your life without knowing your literal income?
That's good advice. You should probably know your income. That way you can budget for your life accordingly. Definitely some really awful financial decisions in today's video. Let me know your thoughts about this topic down below as well, and I'll continue to bring these to you guys. And also let me know some bad decisions you might have made or are making currently down below in the comment section as a warning to other people as well, because I think this is a very serious topic, even though we've had some pretty funny videos to react to today. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.